The motor insurance database was meant to reduce the incidence of fake insurance tickets. It was also to ensure insurance companies charge the right premium and issue electronic stickers for easy verification. Nonetheless, the Commission is worried fake stickers are still common. Justice Yaofori is a commissioner for the National Insurance Commission.
Despite the introduction of the motor insurance database, we know that there are bad guys out there, and whatever you do, they'll try to undermine it. The operations today was successful, and we are ready to embark on a similar operation anywhere in the country. We're working so much well with the MTTD. So my advice to the bad guys is that they should stay out of this business. We are here to protect the insured and the general public, and we'll do whatever it takes to get this done.
Police Detective Gideon Selassie Avamega effect the arrest, vows the team will track all members of the syndicate.
We are investigating the matter. One suspect has been arrested. As and when investigation is completed, the outcome will be known to the media. We can't, prefer charges even at the scene, so I will leave that to the police. Investigation is ongoing.
Meanwhile, the Commission says it is procuring a new machine called the GOTA for the Police Motor and Traffic Department for verifying vehicle stickers. 24-year-old Abdul Rahman.
From Kumasi, let's head to Parliament. Now, Deputy Communications Minister George Anda has commended the multimedia group for the Arrive Alive campaign. He gave the commendation while delivering a statement on the floor of Parliament on the need for Ghanaians to work towards ensuring road safety. Joseph Opoku-Gatpo is our man in Parliament, and he joins me via Zoom. Joseph, what more have MPs been saying about road traffic regulations?
And so there was a quick statement that George Anda delivered that eventually got the support of Kwame Agboja, who is the ranking member on the Road and Transport Committee and others. And essentially they were asking Ghanaians to do a lot more in terms of helping keep the road safe and avoid a situation where there will be road traffic accidents that would end up endangering the lives of people. There were also calls for road traffic regulations enforcement and for the police to step up their efforts as far as keeping the road safe are concerned. And in the midst of that conversation, George Anda, who is the Deputy Communications Minister, highlighted the role that the Arrive Alive campaign by the multimedia group has played in helping keep the road safe, and said that that's a very commendable effort that other institutions should emulate.
Very interesting development there, but we also understand that MPs have been reacting to the Bako Central MPs' move to have Parliament reject the legislation put in there by the Electoral Commission. What more can you tell us?
Mr. Yarega has filed a motion which the Speaker will sometime soon give the green light for him to move that on the floor officially, so that then he provides the necessary support for it, and then it will be debated and whether approved or rejected by MPs. But for some MPs on the majority side, they think the whole idea of the motion that Mr. Yarega has filed is useless. Actually, that's the word that some of the MPs are using to describe. Let me get a quick reaction from the NPP MP for Second D, Andrew Ejapa Mesa. He is joining us live here. So we've all seen Mr. Yarega's notice of motion and the request that the House rejects that particular CI that has been laid on the floor. Your reaction?
He's my very good friend. Otherwise, I would have used pretty much stronger words. But clearly, if you look at the constitutional provision, and I'm trying to pull it up, he says that 11(7)(c), that's what he's coming under. That provision says that any other rule or regulation made by a person or authority under a power conferred by the Constitution or any other law shall A, be laid before Parliament, B, be published in the Gazette on the day it is laid before Parliament, and C, come into force at the expiration of 21-day sitting or 21 sitting days after being so laid, unless Parliament, before expiration of the 21 days, annuls the order. I've seen his application. He says he wants the CI rejected. I don't know whether rejection constitutes annulment.
Apologies for that interruption there. We'll head back to Parliament for more of those reactions. You're watching News Today with me, Ernest Mini. We're taking a short break. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay.
Is it the rumble in your tummy when you've had too much to eat? Or that headache you had from yesterday's party? Then, Number 10 liver salt is for you. Number 10 gives you quick, effective relief from nausea, indigestion, heartburns, hangovers, and hyperacidity. And with different flavors of fruity sweetness, it's a pretty tasty way to end an uncomfortable situation. Number 10 liver salt from Ernest Chemists, because everyone needs a chemist.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Efija-Kwabre South District Assembly is distancing itself from demolition of over 40 uncompleted buildings. Lab News sources say houses at various stages of completion have been pulled down by traditional authorities with authorization from the District Assembly, who say they were sited on land earmarked for road projects. Affected developers at Bohon, Bomso near Kumasi defied social distancing to protest the demolition of their buildings. Nane Aljima visited the area and filed this report.
Cement blocks, whole and broken, filled the space. Rubble of a 6-bedroom house, which was nearing the roofing stage. Here is owner.
She says, "How much did I pay for the land for you to bring people to destroy a whole building?" The assembly say they've not sent anyone, so I'm asking who is responsible.
She produces the site plan, allocation paper, and other documents to prove legal acquisition and ownership. Other victims share similar stories.
It is a
6-bedroom house. Each of them has a washroom. We had built to an advanced stage, and I have documents covering everything. I don't know what to do. She says, "We are pleading for help. I was putting up the building with money I inherited from my deceased sibling. It is for his children."
Checks at the assembly reveal the town's current chief, Nana Osayakutu, has caused a redemarcation of the land from the plan by his predecessor. The assembly says it had only sanctioned removal of tree stumps, blocking access to houses under construction. Christian Edupoku is Efija-Kwabre South District Chief Executive.
Yeah, I want to put on record that this assembly hasn't given permission to anybody to go to Bomso Bohon to go and demolish any house or any property. If something of this nature has gone on, then the chief and whoever went there did it on their own. The head of the physical planning department, like you are saying, he led them to the place. But according to him, when the incident had happened and we questioned him, he said he left the place on an assignment. So he only heard that the chief had taken the law into his own hands and has done what he did.
Meanwhile, Mensah Palace, custodian of all stool lands in the Ashanti region, is mediating the standoff between devastated developers and the chief.
Now let's head to the Volta region now and bring you the story of the 60-year-old blind farmer who is now seeking for help. Jojo Kobna visited the area and here's his report.
Lawrence Demebu is a 60-year-old visually impaired farmer in Liati in the Fajatu South district of the Volta region. He skillfully and cautiously stakes yam so the leaves can creep, elevate and grow well. After losing his sight in his early 20s, Demebu vowed never to beg to survive. He has learned to navigate his farm fields carefully. He lines up a rope so that he can plant maize in a straight line. Lawrence is passionate about farming and spent very long hours in the fields. He recounts sometimes people tail him during harvest seasons to steal from him.
If
I fail to work, it will make me ill. Hard work gives me energy and strength. Sometime while harvesting yam, some people follow me and they steal from me. I never find them. They steal my produce in the farm and also at home.
That is not a big worry to him. Lawrence's biggest fear is old age. He is worried about who will take care of him when he is old and frail. Finding a partner has been difficult, so he has no child and has also given up on the prospects of finding a wife.
My friends try to find me a wife, but unfortunately the women always stay with me for a short time. They feel ashamed of me. I am not lazy. I needed companionship to be successful. Those days I could provide for them, but they left me.
After winning Best Disability Farmer in 2017, his prize was a pair of Wellington boots, 2 cutlasses, a fridge, knapsack sprayer, and a radio. He also received 800 cedis to support his farming. Lawrence said though he appreciates the money, it was not enough to expand his farm. 30 years of farming, a weak madhouse, is what he has to show for all his hard work. He is yearning for a small, decent house where he can safely retire, but he doubts he can pool resources to build a decent place.
I don't have a decent place to sleep. I don't like begging, but I plead with you to help me build a good house.
Odo we na chile jala ton jare ka kencha firongo na ton ja.
When it rains, I really suffer, so please help me.
Although he's proud to beg, he's now crying out to philanthropists who can be kind enough to give him a befitting retirement house. Jojo Kobna.
This is News Today with me, Anna Smith. We have business after this break.
Take a tour through Ghana's fastest growing online portal, www.adumonline.com, for local and international news, business, entertainment, politics, lifestyle, sports, and more. Watch the most intriguing YouTube videos on demand and live streaming of Adum TV, Ghana's #1 television station. Listen to live radio and podcast of all your favorite Adum FM programs, no matter your location and time. AdumOnline.com is an audio, photos, and video focused website. We break the news as and when it happens. AdumOnline.com is on web and app, making it easy to visit via phone, tablet, and desktop. AdumOnline.com, Ghana's most comprehensive news portal.
Greatness is found in history and in heroes. Greatness is rising above the ordinary. Greatness is the long, difficult road to being extraordinary. A series of documentaries profiling the lives of extraordinary leaders in the Ghanaian society. Ghana's Greats, coming soon on Joy News.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Interest payment on loans to be granted micro, small, and medium enterprises has been reviewed from 5% to 3%, according to the Executive Director of the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, Kosi Yankee Aye. Government reviewed the rate in response to the plight of small businesses in the country. She has been speaking at today's COVID-19 briefing.
After deliberations with the President and the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Trade and Industry, after conducting a survey with about 1,700 MSMEs in Ghana, initially we had suggested 5%, but the President, in consultation with the team, decided to review that interest rate due to the plight of the Ghanaian MSMEs at a time such as this to 3%. The moratorium still remains up to 1 year, and during the application process, MSMEs have the option of ensuring that they select a moratorium that would work best for them at a time like this. The term of the loan remains between the range of 2 to 3 years. This was taken into consideration based on the information that we have received even from the Ministry of Information, which states that at this moment, COVID-19, we are all not sure when it would go away. But we are also given the option for MSMEs to be able to hold their businesses and support their employees at a time such as this.
And we are learning that about 5,000 applications have been received so far. Mrs. Yankee Aye also gave an update on what is being done to fix the challenges with the online portal created to facilitate the receipt of applications from businesses.
Currently, we have received some calls about the technology that we have launched. And I think it's important to share this on a podium such as this. Some of the challenges that have come up are that the USSD code times out at some point. It is important to note that the USSD is a short process, and so we have to be efficient in inputting data onto that. And also there were some technology or network challenges. And so we've worked to ensure that we have an efficient delivery of the USSD going forward. We also have set up a grievance center to ensure that all the complaints that we have would come to that portal to assist us answer the challenges that Ghanaians face. We have received some calls that the code hangs at some point and they are not able to finalize it. This is about 1% of the calls that we have received. And we want to assure Ghanaians and MSMEs, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, that we are working on this day and night to ensure that we give nothing but the best.
In other news, plans by the Ghana Stock Exchange to aggressively pursue companies to list on the local bourse is likely to face a setback. Managing Director of the exchange, Eko Afezi, says due to the pandemic coronavirus, the various plans to meet with business organizations and corporate bodies to take advantage of juicy packages offered by the exchange have slowed. He has, however, assured that trading will bounce back when the outbreak is contained.
Slowed those activities down a little bit. As an exchange, our plan was to aggressively promote listings, do a lot of advocacy work. So we started meeting various groups, including the Insurance Commission, the Chamber of the communication companies, the one for oil, and also even going to SIGA, etc., all preparing towards how can we attract more companies. That has slowed down a little bit. And we are hoping that the pandemic eases and economic activity picks up, we will follow up this seriously. So we're still following up on some of these, but it's not as aggressive as it should be. So that is one major impact. We can't do a lot of promotional activities as we speak now. So that has negatively affected these other things that we do. So you realize that we're on the quiet. Because this is not the time to be too aggressive when people are making a lot of lawsuits.
And that's it for business. There's more coming up at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Sports is up next.
Celebrating 25 years
of joy.
To our audience, the chiefs and people of Ghana, we say Baraka.
Climate change is a major threat to yam production systems. Yam farmers in Ghana have used the Yam Miniset to plant yam for many years. But a new technology which allows farmers to rapidly produce seed yam can save the situation.
With this technology, with one plant growing, I can produce 300 seedlings from just one plant.
Here is the story of the yam seed production company, Hikma, on Climate Focus.
Thanks for staying with us. It's now time to bring you sports. My name is Hans Mensah Ando, and an Accra High Court has ruled against former Great Olympics player Emmanuel Clottey, who dragged Kumasi Asante Kotoko to court in connection with a contractual breach against Tunisian side Esperance in 2015. There is more in the following report.
2015, Cloete was found guilty of wrongly joining Kotoko. He was fined by FIFA to pay an amount of $180,000, which the Porcupine Warriors were jointly held liable for. He then dragged Kotoko to court, requesting the club pay the fine and wanted Kotoko to pay him salaries and allowances he would have received while being frozen out of football by FIFA. Kotoko and Cloete did not pay the 2015 FIFA fine until last month, when FIFA handed Kotoko an ultimatum to pay or risk facing an international ban. They then arranged with the Tunisian side and paid. And with the court case, it has been dismissed, and the cost of 5,000 Ghana cedis has been awarded against Cloete.
Gordon Atram is Black Stars B assistant coach and the former Great Olympics head coach as well. He's been speaking about his former club, and according to him, he's always available to help the club anytime he's called upon.
I can never turn my back on Olympics. I remember when this season started, I had a call from them. Mr. Commodore called me several times. He told me that, hey, we have a coach, he has left. We have another coach coming. Would you like to work with him? And then everything, I said, oh no, I am very busy right now. The academy is there, and then I'm also now a national coach.
Yeah.
So I can work from behind for you. If a technical director or something, I can do it for you. So I've been talking to the coaches. Right now is Coach Anowaka is the one who is heading Great Olympics. I talk to him each and every day on ideas, what they have to do sometimes. And then I also speak to Mr. Commodore each and every day regarding the club, as well as Mr. Amaka Amatefiu.
I see.
Because it's not good for
So Godwin, what you're saying is that if the opportunity avails itself and you are not engaged full-time elsewhere, you will do the job.
I will help the club.
You will go back to coach Olympics if
they if only they believe in my planning, because it's all about planning. It's all about planning, Nat. If you don't plan, you will never succeed. And that's the problem that Olympics we are facing. The planning is the problem. We need to plan ahead.
And that's it for sports. There is more on myjoyonline.com/sports.
Celebrating 25 years
of joy.
To our audience, the chiefs and people of Ghana, we say Barka.
On the international front, a 2-day-old baby has died with coronavirus in South Africa, one of the world's youngest victims of the virus. The mother had tested positive for COVID-19 and the child subsequently tested positive, the health minister said. The baby was born prematurely and needed help with breathing, he added. The country's death toll now stands at 339,000 and the number of confirmed cases has climbed to 18,003. The latest modeling predicts that up to 40,000 people might die in South Africa over the next few months. Elsewhere, a trial to see whether two anti-malaria drugs could prevent COVID-19 has begun in Britain and Oxford. Now, chloroquine chloroquine or a placebo will be given to more than 40,000 healthcare workers from Europe, Africa, Asia, and South America. All the participants are staff who are in contact with COVID-19 patients. U.S. President Donald Trump was criticized this week after he said he had been taking the hydroxychloroquine despite warning it might be unsafe. Now, the first UK participant in the global trial are being enrolled on Thursday at the Britain and Sussex University hospitals and also at the John Rashid Hospital in Oxford. That's it for World News. Show Business next.
Hey, knock, knock, bang, bang with the cash.
My name is Kweku Ejaya Mwabusompem, also known as DJ Fantastic. Multimedia Group is celebrating 25 years of media excellence, and I'm a beneficiary of the Multimedia Educare Fund. I want to thank the Multimedia Group for investing in my life. Grateful hearts, Asena.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. Now, at age 23, Ghanaian high life and Afrobeat singer and songwriter Kwame Eugene is breaking barriers and creating a niche for himself. His unique vocal qualities and stagecraft gives him an advantage in a saturated music industry. It is no surprise that Angela Hitmaker was recently crowned King of High Life by legendary Amachi Dede. I present to you on Spotlight today, the rock star.
You know what they say about most musicians. The story of Kwame Eugene is not far off.
There were difficulties from the beginning of my career when things started getting bigger. And yeah, it wasn't easy.
It would not take long for the Fadama-bred artist to burst onto the scene. And like his fellow label mate, Kiddy, Eugene's abilities were uncovered during music TV reality show MTN Hitmaker, where he finished third in 2016. The 23-year-old acknowledges this has been a crucial part of his career in music. From winning the VGMA New Artist of the Year in 2018, High Life Artist of the Year, High Life Song of the Year at the 3 Music Awards, and many more, Kwame Eugene has become a household name. His numbers on YouTube and streaming websites speak for themselves. 16 million views for Angela, 9.4 million views for Confusion, 1.2 million views for Turn Up, 1.9 million views for Obiato, all as of May 21. Fans of the High Life and Afrobeat singer have used these figures to back their arguments about who the artist with the most hits is between him and Kwesi Arthur, a debate that has been trending on Twitter. Both artists are great individuals in their own rights and wonderful musicians. Song theft allegations have come up in the past. Did he steal lyrics from Davido and Jamaican dancehall artist Kofi? In May 2019, legendary High Life artist Amachi Dede on the VGMA stage crowned him the new king of High Life in Ghana. The artist continues to produce hit after hit, and it appears the fans love him despite talk about his poor fashion sense. Well, that will not matter much to the Adrian Fee singer once he keeps doing good music and taking Ghana places.
Away from that, Ghanaian musician Prince Bright Sparkles believes that the ongoing feud among female artists in Ghana is a waste of time. That Small Thing Hitmaker agreed with comments by Rocky Daoni that beefs and diss songs are of no use. Prince Bright wants Eno Baroni, Sister Fia and Frida Rhymes to channel their strengths into promoting their commercial music.
hey, live your life this way or that way, but you know what I'm saying, you know what's best for you. To me, I think it's not healthy, you know what I'm saying, because if anything should happen to any of you, one of y'all might regret this ever happening.
Rocky Dauni believes that it's a total waste of time. Do you agree?
It is a waste of time because, like I said, they equally have their, you know, talents, you know, amazing talents. I met Sister Fia, very amazing lady, very beautiful lady. We didn't speak much, but she was full of energy. I've met, Eno has always been, you know, my people, like, she's very talented, you know what I mean? I think she got some amazing, you know, skills, if I may put it. To all the women, we are happy that you are contributing your bit to the industry, but
that'll be all for Showbiz here on Joy News Today. My name is Becky.
In the world, the media is getting saturated with a lot of hoax news stories, false claims, exaggerated headlines. Simply, fake news is spreading fast.
In this pandemic, fake news is a new infodemic. But fearless journalists at Joy News are on the front line, fighting fake news with a series of fact-checked, compelling news reports. The Joy News Combat Fake News Project, clearing the blurry lines between fake news and the news.
And that'll be all for news today. Many thanks for your company. And look again at our top stories. We brought you a story from Parliament where the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mama Yarga, has initiated moves to get the House to reject the constitutional instrument that will regulate the collation of a new voters register by the EC. MPs have been reacting to that. And of course, on the universities bill, which is also becoming very controversial in the House. Apologies, we couldn't hear from the chairman of the committee. We'll bring that to you in our subsequent bulletins. And in business, we know that the interest rate for the stimulus packages presented to small-scale industries has been reduced from 5% to 3%. There's more news when you log on to myjohnline.com. Many thanks for your company. I'm Ernest Mina. Good afternoon.
News Today was brought to you by
Number 10 liver salt from Ernest Chemists, because everyone needs a chemist.